Good evening, T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG. So guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. I just got done teaching my class not too long ago, but I want to bring you something very important. It's about Bitcoin and the CPI new numbers and what that can mean for early tapering and how that could affect Bitcoin, because it's not just the technical analysis, guys. It's everything tied in, and Bitcoin directly influences XRP. So I'm going to read through this, and then we're going to look at the Bitcoin and XRP chart, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Make sure to hit that like button. It really does help. I'm going to light this joint real quick so you're going to have time to hit that like button. Hit the like button. You know what? I'm going to give you even more time to hit that like button. We're going to play Sunny Days while I light this joint, and you're going to hit that like button. No excuses. I'm giving you plenty of time to hit that like button and subscribe. We're only 98 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers on the channel. Sunny days. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days. Join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month. Okay, now that we've hit that like button and subscribed if we're new or returning, let's get into this article real quick. More downside for Bitcoin, and this is from today at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. More downside for Bitcoin. CPI new numbers could call for early taper. The stock markets and Bitcoin's price performance might be hitting a bumpier road after the next consumer price index release. During the year, the Fed has been clear about an upcoming tapering, and now that new and higher CPI metrics are expected, the taper is likely to fasten its pace and the markets to suffer. The central bank is expected to start reducing its net asset purchase month by month by $10 billion for Treasury securities and $5 billion for agency mortgage-backed securities. This has raised fear over the traditional and crypto markets, as prices are expected to be affected by a reduction in the global market's liquidity. Previous tapering scenarios have seen yields fall and government bond prices rise. Consumers who have experienced the rise in prices this year have low expectations for the consumer price index result to come. The red signals send a reminder of Jerome Powell's previous words: "We are prepared to adjust the pace of purchases if warranted by changes in the economic outlook." Similarly, James Bullard, president of Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, had said in an interview with Bloomberg that they could move faster and speed off the taper if it is appropriate. "I think it behooves the committee to go in a more hawkish direction in the next couple of meetings so that we are managing the risk of inflation appropriately." Bullard's comments followed the U.S. Labor Department October's report of a 6.2% yearly rise in the consumer price index, a 31-year high. The further aggravated the market's concerns about inflation. Voices for accelerating taper has become increasingly loud, said Huobi Research. It is not the first policy retreat for the Fed, but it is seen as the most dramatic one, as it is a turnaround from unmatched support to the financial markets. The general question now is whether it will look appropriate after the CPI report. If so, the markets are looking red to the experts. Related reading, blah, blah, blah. What happened to the Bitcoin 100K dream? At the beginning of November, Bitcoin dipped, falling almost by 2,000 as the Federal Reserve announced it would gradually reduce the bond purchase. Powell had accepted that U.S. inflation numbers are not transitory, thus suggesting accelerating the taper as he saw a stronger economy and hot inflation. Bitcoin trading at 47,534 in the daily chart. There are current considerations of wrapping things up a few months earlier than initially planned. The future two-day meeting on December 14th and 15th will tell if the Fed will double its taper pace to $30 billion a month. A faster taper could be used to fight the surging inflation by raising interest rates earlier, but this could bring times of high volatility for the markets. Louis Navellier, one of the Wall Street's famous growth investors, had comments. The Fed is tapering, and this should create a correction in risk assets, of which Bitcoin is a part. The more the Fed tapers, the more volatility we should see in both stocks and bonds, and yes, Bitcoin too. And guys, this is what I'm saying. Bitcoin's it's a risk. It's a risk.
people dump it when all this stuff starts happening. This is one of the first things they dump. All the risk stocks they dump. Bitcoin they dump. XRP is a risk stock to most, a risk, even though it shouldn't be. Huobi Research explained that the projection behind the previous expectation for Bitcoin's price to flirt with 100K by the end of the year ignored the impact of external macro changes on the market. I didn't ignore it, but all of YouTube did. The Huobi report claims the extremely loose monetary policies, the central bank's release of liquidity during times of COVID, was also carrying Bitcoin's price uphill, as well as other risky assets to the remarkable surge we saw this year. That also means the taper is the turning point of global liquidity growth. As we observed during March last year, due to the shortage of market liquidity, Bitcoin price dropped by nearly 50% in one day. The concerns about inflation have turned into a difficult landscape to future prices for various high-risk assets. However, this wouldn't be Bitcoin's first low, and we have seen it bounce back before. So that is an incredibly dead-on article, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Usually I do XRP news, but it's important. We need to know what's going on with Bitcoin. It's up 1,000 points right now. It's up to this point where if we're going to try to do something, we've got to get over 48,732. And I know a lot of you guys who watch me now understand what's going on here. If we can't get over this and we get rejected, it's going to be a quick and swift motion down to 44,825 next. If we can get over this, we're going to be pushing towards 49,993. So resistance right now is 48,732. The support is 47,118, followed by 44,825. And we're trying to see if we come back down to 41,954 for a double bottom. And now with XRP, it looks like what we were calling out earlier. We talked about how it looked like we're on a head and shoulders pattern. And that's what it kind of looks like we're doing right now. We're still on the top side in the 30-minute time frame. I believe we pulled back up. Yeah, we pulled back up over 86.26. But guys, that close we had, it was a weird close. I mean, we closed. Where were we at when the actual daily close? Because we're up 003. So we're at like 85.9. So, I mean, we closed right at the 30-minute time frame. The 200-day. I mean, literally right on top of it. So, the fact we didn't close up at that 8... I don't know where my 89 line went. But the fact we didn't close at 89, you know, up here, because that's our resistance level right now. That's a problem. Because now we went back to the sideways trading. I mean, we literally look like all we did in this grand scheme. If you look at this in the bigger time frames, I mean, it looks like that's a failed hook and that it wants to come back down. I mean, that's a big pull down, and now it looks like we're having a reversal candle. So if this is true, you know, we're going to have to come down to 75 cents and then ultimately likely 57. This is what I drew out for XRP. If we would have went up first, like we kind of did, now we're coming down. I think if that's the directory we took, instead of just coming down like this and bouncing back up and doing all this nonsense, by doing this, a part of me tells me, because we came close enough up there, that maybe we're going to trade like this now before we get a breakout, whether it's up or because of what it did here now, we could likely have a break to the downside, well, you know, from here. And then if this breaks to the downside, then we got some issues. And that could be pointing to the December 10th, December 13th to 14th to 15th, where we could have this dump, like a massive dump. And to me, it lines up perfectly with the talks on the 14th and 15th. If they already know what's going to happen with the inflation being raised, and if they double it, like they said, the 30 billion instead of 15 per year, and that is direct liquidity pulled out of the markets, and the fears, that could have a December 13th dump right before that news. I mean, it would almost make perfect sense. But that's what I'm kind of thinking now. Instead of having the pull back up, there's two scenarios here now where we could actually, because of how we broke up, we almost came up to 98 cents. That's close enough to where we could be like, okay, it made a fake run up. We missed it by 1.5 cents. And now it could play that second scenario where we're actually bouncing down, as you can see. I put a lot of work into my charts. So because it came up like this, now that we funneled in here, now we come down and bounce like this. And then we decide, are we going to keep trading in here? Instead of just say, we came up, we stomped right back down and had a direct bounce up because we had enough support. We never came back down for that support, which leads me to believe we're going to bounce in here in the symmetrical triangle. So we're going to see how this plays out, but that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. Make sure that like button. If you guys want to join Tom's Army, we're up to 170, I believe 180 members now because we had a new member. We'll find out tomorrow if anybody dropped off. But as of right now, 179 members, 21 away from our goal. Get the exclusive content. You get the exclusive emoji badges on YouTube next to your name, including me being abducted by aliens in month 1. And then you also get my exclusive Telegram. When you join, there's 103 people, or 104 people in there right now. 179 of you have the ability to go in there. And there's a ton of shit on there, so don't miss that.